I would like to talk very quick about something that annoys me, and I'm going to call it thin-splaining. It's the idea that fat people, like, have no idea how to be thin, and that's why we're fat. So or like, that we just don't understand health, and that's why we are the way that we are. So they want to add their tips, saying that it's not appropriate to talk to your loved ones about their body or their weight gain or loss. And some people are like, what if I want to talk to my partner about it because health risks run in their family? It's their family. Who told you about the health risks? Do you think they don't know? Why do you need to talk to them about it? I made a video where I said you can decline getting your weight taken at the doctor's office, and so many people jumped in to say, unless you have anesthesia, unless you're getting a prescription for medication, unless it's this, unless it's that. And I'm like, fat people know when it's medically necessary. Stop. I made a video saying that there are no diseases exclusive to fat people, which there are absolutely not. And people want to say, it can actually be a risk factor for other diseases. Like we don't already know. People have literally been saying this shit to me since I was 7 years old. I know. I don't need your helpful input.
The commercialization and whitewashing of the body positivity movement is the worst thing that ever happened. This is going to be a long one, so sit down. So the body positivity / fat liberation movement emerged from the Black LGBT community of the late 60s, early 70s. It existed on the fringes of mainstream / white society and culture for many years because in white culture, fat equals bad. Now in brown and black cultures, there's a little bit of ambiguity here and there. I could talk about that in another video if you want me to. However, what we saw was fashion companies after the extremely toxic early 2000s, which I could talk about all day if you guys want me to, basically said, hey, you know what? I see you fat girls are buying clothes and I see you're willing to pay a premium for those clothing. So I'm going to get into the plus size fashion industry. However, what they did was they said, I'm only going to look at fat bodies I'm attracted to or I think other cisgender white people will be interested in. You know what those bodies are? Hourglass, pear-shaped, size 10 to 14 white or white adjacent bodies. Essentially, what happened was you're only looking at fat people through the lens of cisgender thin white people that run fashion because fashion thrives on two things, babies, thinness and whiteness. So instead of the body positivity movement reflecting the hordes of fat, black, brown, white people, women, girls, boys, they, them, who come in a variety of shapes and sizes, hues, genders, ethnicities, it is now fully represented by people like Ashley Graham, a cisgendered size 12 or 14 white woman who is raking in millions of dollars at the expense of the body positivity movement. So what body positivity and plus size fashion have molded together to do is basically mirror the regular straight size fashion industry, creating another generation of fat girls who hate themselves, have a whole new host of insecurities for a totally different reason. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thin white people and the fashion industry have ruined body positivity.
How old were you when you learned, and I've learned this last week, so it's okay if you don't know it yet, but how old were you when you learned that, like, the second boob area here, you know how, like, some fat people have this going on? This kind of like the boob and the second boob area? That is from sucking in your stomach. Likely all through your childhood and teens. That is from walking around, sucking it in all the time. That's how that happens. That's why that's there on your body. Fuck.
This is what I eat in a day as a fat woman who doesn't want to lose weight and who believes really deeply in intuitive eating. So first, I had some overnight oats with some milk, chopped up almonds, and cinnamon in them, and I paired that with a grapefruit with sugar on it. I always put sugar on grapefruit, why wouldn't you? Then I had roasted hazelnuts. If you live in Canada, Dollarama has a really cheap selection of nuts, and I love them. Then last night I had made some Thai curry for dinner, so I had that with some fried onions, green onions on top, and some whole wheat naan bread because I ran out of rice. And then I donated blood, and they gave me this little snack, so I had some orange juice and chips for a mid-afternoon snack, followed by a pomegranate. Originally I wanted to save half for tomorrow, but I put a lot of labor into this, and it's really beautiful and delicious, so I ate it all. And then for supper, I just wanted to keep it simple. I had some skillet gnocchi. They kind of taste like pizza pops almost. They're really good. And honestly, I need to get groceries, but it's not realistic that every meal is going to be beautifully plated and thought out. It's still a really balanced meal, so I was happy with it. And then for a late night snack, I stole some of my boyfriend's buffalo chicken wings with some ranch dip. So I'm really happy with how I ate today. I felt satisfied.
Wait, are you wearing a bra?
No, I took that thing off. It was getting in the way of my girls.
Maddox, I command you to put a bra on this instant.
I refuse! My melons were meant to be free!
Maddox, cease this foolishness.
I can jiggle if I want to. I can leave my bra behind, 'cause my boobs don't bounce, and if they don't bounce, well, they're no boobs of mine.
Things that baffle me as a fat woman, part 1. I'm settling the debate all over TikTok. Everyone's saying, go from behind. What are you doing? You should be sitting down while you're doing that. That is not possible. The butt cheek is so wide. My arm is only so long. You get it if you get it. Any kind of seats. You can't convince me otherwise. The width, the material. There is a specific type of seat that I will trust with my life, and then there is about 99% of seats that I won't. There is a specific spot in hell for a person that did this to us. I'm also not sure if there's supposed to be a weight limit on the tyres, but I've seen plus size women having thicker tyres. So now, every time I go on my bike, I question my life. Also didn't help that I popped a tyre on the last time that I went on the bike, so didn't exactly build my confidence there. Washing your bits. Now, I'm not talking about the private bits. I'm talking about the bits that we get as fat women and men. The like flap of the tummy, under the boobs, and not just the washing, but the aftercare. Like, do I deodorize under my belly flap? It's a question I'm not sure about. Should I be talcum powdering it? Because it all gets sweaty. It's just like an underarm. These are the questions that keep me up at night. And lastly, putting on your shoes. I need a shoe horn, but do I get one? No, because I'm in denial that every time I need to put shoes on, I need help. I don't think I've ever heard people talk about these things. Let's start the convo. Do you want a part 2? If so, follow for more. Yes, I can do that. This is a very serious matter. I'm going to be doing categories. I feel that this is only fair. We're going to be starting off with dining room chairs because I feel that this is the most controversial and one that I really am fussy about. Also kind of relevant since I'm eating. Coming in at worst place, any kind of metal spindly legs. No, it's no from me. One that might surprise a few, it is very aesthetic, but you will never catch me dead in this chair. Any kind of cane bottom, and also this kind of like bamboo, really easily snapped wood. Yeah, nah. Next up, we have a similar design, but as you can see, it is a wooden frame instead of a metal frame. I'm still concerned because the legs don't have enough supports. So there's one support in the back there, but the rest of them are just free fallen. So -5 points for how thin and narrow that seat is. That would fit one of my butt cheeks. As you can see, next up, same kind of deal as the last one, except this one has arms. Stability-wise, I'm a little bit more comfortable. Yes, it doesn't have supports, that's a no-no, but it does have a lot more connectors up top. The only fear I have with this one is the width of my hips. Side note, if you're one of my friends and you own any of these chairs, just know I won't be eating at your house. The chair coming in second is still one that I absolutely despise, but I would sit in it and tolerate it for friends. Chairs that have these diggy in sides. Now, we're starting off with a really good frame. I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident in that frame. Not amazingly confident, but I'm okay with it. The problem is the comfortability factor. My ass is definitely 100% sitting on those side bits, and this is actually not too bad of a one. I could not find a photo of one that has a larger that would fit in the frame of the TikTok video. If you have them, you know what I mean. And finally, you're probably wondering what my dining room chairs are. I went for a mixture of aesthetic, so I did have to compromise a little bit on how fearful I will be of falling off, but I really liked how wide the actual seat was. So let me turn you around. To me, the perfect size, fits a nice comfy ass, and I feel pretty sturdy in them. Which chairs should I rank next?
I wanna take a pic with Cardi B inside my cardigan. Niggas know I'm late, they call me Shorty, Mr. Tardy Man. I just smoke my weed and fuck these hoes, I'm not no party man. Hit the plug and check the gas and take off in a Harley, man.